Good morning again. Welcome to today's webinar that we organized along with NICE, where we will analyze how to empower customer service in times of change. Καλημέρα σε όλους σας. Σας καλωσορίζουμε στο webinar που διοργανώσαμε μαζί με την NICE, που θα μιλήσουμε για την ενίσχυση της εξυπηρέτησης των πελατών σε καιρούς ανάγκης. Θα ξεκινήσουν οι ομιλίες με τον κύριο Ηλία Ρίζο, Telecom Division Director της CBS, όπου θα μας μιλήσει για την εμπειρία του επιχειρηματικού μετασχηματισμού με την NICE. Έπειτα ο κύριος Γιώργε Φράιφ, την Expedia Analytics Sales Executive της NICE, θα αναλύσει τη δύναμη του Audio Analytics. Improve Efficiency in Front and Back Office θα είναι η επόμενη ομιλία που θα γίνει από τον κύριο Κρίς Καραγιάννης, RPA Solution Sales EMEA της NICE. Και τέλος ο κύριος Leor Grandstand, Expertise Core Solution Sales της NICE, θα μας μιλήσει για το Real Time Authentication και Fraud Prevention. Καθ' όλη τη διάρκεια μπορείτε να καταθέτετε τις ερωτήσεις σας στο tab Q&A και μπορούμε να ξεκινήσουμε με τον κύριο Ηλία Ρίζο.
Καλημέρα. Ρίζος, Telecom Division Director της Cosmos Business System. Στην παρουσίαση θα μάθουμε με ποιον τρόπο η αξιοποίηση και η εφαρμογή των λύσεων της NICE θα μεγιστοποιήσει τα πλεονεκτήματα του ψηφιακού μετασχηματισμού των επιχειρήσεων και της επίδρασης που προκύπτει στον τρόπο εξυπηρέτησης πελατών. Θα ενημερωθούμε πώς μπορούμε να τα αξιοποιήσουμε στην καθημερινή μας επικοινωνία με τους πελάτες, ποια είναι τα ενδιαφέροντά τους και γενικά το αγοραστικό τους προφίλ. Θα δούμε πως σύγχρονα εργαλεία που βασίζονται σε τεχνολογίες εχμής, αξιοποιώντας μηχανισμούς τεχνητής νοημοσύνης, artificial intelligence, επιδρούν στη συνολική βελτίωση της εμπειρίας εξυπηρέτησης των πελατών μας. Digital Transformation, ψηφιακός μετασχηματισμός. Ο ψηφιακός μετασχηματισμός, μέσα από την ανάπτυξη ενός omni-channel περιβάλλοντος, στο τμήμα εξυπηρέτησης πελατών, με διακριτική προτεραιότητα στην ψηφιακή επικοινωνία. Ο ψηφιακός μετασχηματισμός αλλάζει τον τρόπο με τον οποίο οι άνθρωποι αλληλεπιδρούν μεταξύ τους, αλλάζει επίσης και το κανάλι ή τα κανάλια επικοινωνίας λέγουν για να επικοινωνήσουν με τα τμήματα εξυπηρέτησης πελατών. Η προσδοκία των πελατών αποβλέπει σε μια ευρεία χρήση διαφορετικών ψηφιακών καναλιών και με ένα εύκολο τρόπο εναλλαγής τους καθ' όλη τη διάρκεια της συναλλαγής. Customer Experience Transformation. Μετασχηματισμός όχι μόνο στο μέσο επικοινωνίας, αλλά και στην εμπειρία εξυπηρέτησης. Να είναι δεδομένη η ανταπόκριση στις προσδοκίες των πελατών μας σχετικά με το πώς αυτοί θα ήθελαν να εξυπηρετηθούν. Πρόκειται δηλαδή για μια έμεση προτροπή, κάνονται πρωτοβουλίες της υπερεξατομικής κατανόησης των προτιμήσεων των πελατών μας, σχετικά με τον τρόπο που επιθυμούν να αλληλοεπιδράσουν την επιχείρησή μας, με απλά λόγια να γνωρίζουμε από πριν τι χρειάζονται και ποιοι είναι οι απαραίτητοι πόροι που πρέπει να διατεθούν, προκειμένου να μπορούν να εξυπηρετηθούν καλύτερα. Workforce Transformation, μετασχηματισμός και στο επίπεδο του ανθρώπινου δυναμικού. Λύσεις προσαρμοσμένες στην βέλτιστη διαχείριση του εργατικού δυναμικού που διασφαλίζουν την ενεργή συμμετοχή των στελεχών μας και τα κίνητρα αποδοτικότητας. Με ποιους τρόπους, ποια εργαλεία και ποιες εφαρμογές μπορούμε να χρησιμοποιήσουμε ώστε να προσελκύσουμε τον ενδιαφέρον των συνεργατών μας για συμμετοχή και ανάληψη της ευθύνης, του λεγόμενου ownership, για την παροχή ποιοτικών υπηρεσιών στους πελάτες μας. Πρόκειται λοιπόν για εφαρμογές που διασφαλίζουν ότι οι σύμβουλοι αντιπρόσωποι της εταιρείας μας έχουν την απαραίτητη εκπαίδευση και είναι πλήρως εστιασμένοι στην ποιοτική εξυπηρέτηση των πελατών μας. Διαθέτοντας τα κατάλληλα εργαλεία και την απαραίτητη εκπαίδευση, βοηθάμε το εργατικό μας δυναμικό να διατηρεί μια υγιή και ισορροπημένη εργασιακή ζωή. Artificial Intelligence, Automation and Analytics Transformation. Ψηφιακός μετασχηματισμός με την υιοθέτηση έξυπνων διαδικασιών και αυτοματοποίησης με την αξιοποίηση της τεχνητής νοημοσύνης. Αξιοποιώντας τη δύναμη της τεχνητής νοημοσύνης και της γλώσσας μηχανής για την αυτοματοποιημένη εκτέλεση συγκεκριμένων, επαναλαμβανόμενων εργασιών με ταχύτητα και ακρίβεια που δεν μπορεί να γίνει με οποιονδήποτε άλλο τρόπο. Πρόκειται για μια σύγχρονη διαδικασία που αναλαμβάνει την εκτέλεση μέρους από τις καθημερινές εργασίες ενός contact center με τη χρήση προηγμένων αυτοματισμών και επιτρέπει στο εργατικό δυναμικό να επικεντρωθεί σε εκείνες τις προτεραιότητες που απαιτούν ανθρώπινη δημιουργικότητα και προσωπική πινελιά. Transformation. Όλες οι προσφερόμενες εφαρμογές της NICE μπορούν να υλοποιηθούν και σε περιβάλλον cloud. Το cloud αλλάζει το ρυθμό και την ταχύτητα της εισαγωγής και υιοθέτησης καινοτομιών, αντικαθιστώντας υποδομές του με σύγχρονες λύσεις σχεδιασμένες για cloud, ώστε να επιτρέψει περισσότερες αποδόσεις, μεγαλύτερη ταχύτητα πρόσβασης στην αγορά και την ικανότητα κλιμάκωσης στα ολοένα αυξανόμενα αιτήματά της. Παρέχει επίσης σε επιχειρήσεις τη δυνατότητα για απελευθέρωση πόρων που χρησιμοποιούνται για τη διαχείριση ξεπερασμένων τεχνολογικά εφαρμογών και τη διάθεσή τους στην καινοτομία, ικανοποιώντας τις πάγιες απαιτήσεις των πελατών, προσφέροντας στην επιχείρησή μας το ανταγωνιστικό πλεονέκτημα. Nice Experience Transformation. Η εμπειρία του ψηφιακού μετασχηματισμού των contact center μέσα από τη συνεργασία με την NICE. Για μια επιτυχημένη εμπειρία ψηφιακού μετασχηματισμού, η συνεργασία με την NICE σας παρέχει ένα ενιαίο, πλήρες και ολοκληρωμένο πλαίσιο εφαρμογών και υπηρεσιών που στη συνέχεια θα μπορέσετε να γνωρίσετε μέσα από τις επόμενες παρουσιάσεις από τους εκλεκτούς μας συνεργάτες. Σας ευχαριστώ.
Thank you very much, Elias. Georg,
You're
you
welcome.
can start with your presentation.
Yes, thank you. Let me please share my screen first. Please tell me if this is visible to you. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Yogev Kraif, and I'm a sales specialist for Nexidia Analytics at NICE. I would like to present to you today how Nexidia helped one of our European customers. I'm talking about a bank, ABN AMRO Bank in the Netherlands. It's quite a familiar bank, which I'm sure you heard of. The bank has approached us a while ago, actually 4 years ago, with the situation they have encountered. They were experiencing continuous decrease in customer satisfaction while their contact center was bombarded with an increase of customer calls. They were not aware on what exactly customers' pain points are. Obviously, they were asking their agents to map in the CRM what are the contact reasons, but they saw very clear evidence that this agent mapping on contact reasons is one, not accurate, and two, not complete. Mostly because their agents were heavily loaded with calls, and the constraints on average handling time and the organization requirement to reduce the average handling time didn't leave them enough room to handle accurately the task of post-processing after the call and registering all of the call reasons accurately. So the bank wasn't able to answer the very simple question management has. What are customers calling about and why are they calling us? The bank reached out to NICE asking if we have a solution for that. And yes, indeed, we have proposed to ABN AMRO to engage with our analytics solution. The solution is called Nexidia, And we told them that the solution will enable them very quickly to identify in a very high accuracy exactly what customers are calling about, what topics are they calling about. The bank accepted that, and we went on to production, deployed the solution, and within 2 months after the contract was signed between NICE and ABN AMRO, we were able to move them from manual registration of contact reasons to completely automated interaction analytics-based call categorization. What does that mean? It means that the technology is listening to all calls and is registering inside the CRM what are the contact reasons. Immediately after we have triggered the solution, we have connected it to the recording environment and started to analyze calls. ABN AMRO immediately started getting very clear indication on multiple contact reasons which they were not aware of. The indication that the technology provided was extremely accurate. How accurate? You see the numbers in front of you. These are not statistical numbers. These are extremely accurate figures on how many contacts relating to each topic. How many contacts relate to transactions? How many contacts relate to making an appointment or to navigating in the internet banking and so on? The technology was able to show them that they had many more topics than the ones they thought they will have, because what we see here is the top level topics, but there is a very long tail of additional topics contributing to call volume. And when we had a test with the bank on how accurate the measurement is, they realized that the accuracy is even better than a human. Now, this is a very astonishing figure for most customers, not for us. This is true for all of our customers. The technology is more accurate than a human will be if you ask a human to mark what are the contact reasons. And the technology don't stop at one contact reason per call. A customer may be talking in one call about making an appointment, about a problem in navigating the internet, and about asking about a product like an insurance product that the bank is offering. All of them may be marked with no limitation by Nexidia in every call. So if an agent has a limitation of marking one contact reason per call because of time, the technology doesn't have a limitation like that. It can mark 2, 3, 10, 1,000 contact reasons per single call if there are there. After we showed that to the bank, basically their initial need was addressed. They got what they wanted. But we didn't stop there. We told the bank officials that they should move on way beyond just marking contact reasons, because contact reason is not a goal. It's a means to an end. The actual goal is to reduce contact volume and to increase customer satisfaction. So we showed the bank how they can use Nexidia to drill down inside the calls, inside the top level topics, and identify subcategories per each topic, and identify the root cause that customers are calling about. For example, if we're talking about customers that call about navigating in internet banking, a subtopic that we identified was customers which are of older age, 50 and above, very frequently having a sibling call after the first call, where the agent told them that they can do that task in on the internet. They would call again within 2 days to ask how can they see their specific check details in the internet account. Okay, so they would like not only to see that they deposited a check, but also the specific check details. And this is causing a repeat call to the bank, and that is causing an increase of call volume, and that is also causing a decrease in customer satisfaction. And we are able to show exactly how many repeat calls are coming from customers on this specific topic. And the insight is that you can train your agents and tell them that when this is an elderly customer, you should mention to that customer that if he's looking for check data, he can right-click on the check line in the online portal, and you get the check data appearing in front of you. That 10 seconds explanation in the first call can contribute to reduction of 7% of repeat calls in total. That's a significant amount of calls. But we didn't stop there. Our next step was to show the bank that Nexidia can also, after you train your agents, after you tell them that they need to mention that specific topic in the first call, Nexidia can also monitor the individual agent performance on these topics. So Nexidia can set up a metric or a KPI that measures whether the individual agent, for every call of a customer that is talking about his checking account and he's over the age of 50, whether the agent indeed mentioned in the call the topic about how to see the check details in the online portal. So the agent, what you see in front of you now, is the ability of Nexidia to show the individual agent how aligned is he with this metric, with this corporate guidance. Now, both the agent is getting a score from Nexidia, but also his manager is getting that score, and that score propagates all the way up to the top level hierarchy of the contact center. And this is a very strong capability that the technology provides the management of the organization to monitor how well agents are aligning with their guidance. This is a way to monitor performance, but also a very strong way to enable agents to know where to focus on, because the agent is getting a lot of metrics measured by Nexidia, and he can see on which of these metrics he's doing well, and on which of the metrics he needs to be more focused and adjust his behavior through the call. This is assisting agents to better align to corporate guidance, and specifically to new agents to onboard with best practices. Again, this is all done by technology, analyzing the actual audio of the call, and the organization can rely on these metrics as being extremely accurate, more accurate than a human is. The fact that our technology is so accurate, and this is a patented technology called phonetic indexing, this very advanced technology enables us to be today controlling 50% of the audio analytics market. That means that one of every 2 customers in the world that is doing audio analytics is doing this with this solution called NICE Nexidia. This is also evident by the position that international analyst firms are positioning NICE. You can see in the top left screen that NICE is positioned as the only provider in the leading quadrant by Forrester for audio analytics solutions. Our customer base is including almost all of the Fortune 500 banks, almost all of them, but also many other verticals like telecom, like other financial industry vendors, like technology vendors and others. Finally, I would like to say that because of its accuracy, the technology is enabling not only to support and increase cost management in organizations, namely to decrease average handling time, to reduce repeat calls, and to move contact center calls into the digital domain, but also it is enabling organization to increase sales, to adhere to compliance, and for banks this is a critical item. All of the compliance regulations that needs to be enforced inside calls can be fully analyzed and monitored by Nexidia, And by the way, there are countries in Europe that because of the compliance capability of Nexidia, all of the banks, 100% of them, all of the banks in that country have procured Nexidia to enforce compliance. You can see that happening in UK, you can see that happening in Israel, and in other countries across Europe. Finally, the solution is also obviously supporting increase in customer satisfaction. We would very much like to hear from you back if this is an interesting solution and to provide you with a more detailed review on how the technology works and how can it support your needs in the organization. Thank you.
Great. So, hi everyone. Thank you for dedicating your time today. My name is Lior Grunstein, sales engineer for the EMEA region. Today, I will introduce part of NICE portfolio, which is real-time authentication, RTA, and I will demonstrate you the tools, the solution capabilities, and what values it brings to your customers. So before diving into the technical details, how the solution works and the values, just wanted to briefly share with you the data breaches that we experienced over the past 5 years, for example. So what you can see on the screen now is just from 2 months ago, where Facebook user profiles were sold in the dark web. And just to share additional details, Twitter, for example, this is from 2 days ago, updated the regulations about new data breach. They are currently now evaluating the impact, but it's still taking place. Yahoo 3 billion accounts were leaked out into the network. Other vendors that experienced data breach. And I'm sharing this because just to share with you that our information, your usernames, password, and so on, it's out there in the dark web. And customers who usually need to authenticate their customers are no longer can be relied on such kind of information. And what we need to provide is the methods with a strong authentication. I will refer to several metrics. It's important to understand when someone trying to take over accounts, when he called to the contact centers, which is today the weakest link in the chain, because they are using social engineering. When we have human being behind the line, it's much easier to manipulate the person and to take some actions such as reset password, change email, and so on. And to prevent it, we need a method with a strong authentication. So with the solution that I will introduce today, we are providing 3 main metrics. We are enhance and leverage better customer experience, and I will explain shortly how. We improve operational efficiency, helping the employee, the agent behind the line to provide a better service in a quicker way, instead of authenticate the customer behind the line. And I think the most important thing to understand is the ability to prevent fraud. So in high level, and I will not dive into the deep details, in high level, how the solution works. First, we are creating a voice print. A voice print is a unique voice print for each and every customer. We are using the physical parameters of the human being, for example, length of vocal cords, or the structure of his mouth, teeth, and more. In addition to the physical parameters, we also analyze the behavior. For example, the frequency of the voice, the echo, and the background noises. By analyzing all of these parameters, we create a digital voice print. This digital voice print is totally secured and cannot be used outside of the NICE solution. With this voice print, we actually able to authenticate the customer when he called to the organization and speak with an agent, and not just with an agent. We able to use the voice print and authenticate the customer behind the line via live agent, as well as IVR and mobile app. It gives more opportunities to businesses to leverage their self-services. So they can provide more options to do self-service rather than do it with a live agent. And with authentication, we are able to provide more options because the authentication is completely secure. And I will refer to it in the next few slides. So by saying customer experience, imagine that customer call to the organization, speak with an agent, no need to authenticate the customer. So no need to ask any annoying questions such as last digit of your credit card, your dog name, and other annoying questions. We can jump quickly and provide the service. Operational efficiency, it's with the authentication methods, which is totally seamless and happen behind the scenes, the agent can provide the service right away after the customer introduces himself and explain the problem, what service he actually need. And by doing so, we are easily reducing average handling time. According to NICE research, we are talking about 30 seconds in average per call, where we are shorten the calls, which this is easily can be translated to ROI and money. And last and not least is the fraud domain, where we are not just authenticated legitimate customers, we able to alert in real time to the agent whether the person behind the line is a fraudster and whether he's who he claimed to be. And not just that, we also introduced to the market 2 years ago a patent, new technology, which help us to predict and expose the fraudsters. So with this unique mechanism, we able to alert the security officer every morning, and I will show you shortly how it works, for a potential fraudsters. Once the security officer confirms that we are having potential fraudsters in the system, we just take his voice print and store it in the watch list. So every time that this specific person will call again to the organization, we will alert in real time to the agent that we have a fraudster behind the line, and also we will guide the agent in real time what to do according to the organization policy. So let me just give you a quick scenario of a typical call in the organization. So it's divided to 3 parts, okay? According to NICE researchers, it's about 40 seconds for the welcome, introduction, and description of the problem. And then addition 40 seconds for the authentication, which today the traditional way is asking questions, and according to the answer, the agent know whether this is a legitimate customer. By using real-time authentication, it's enough to take the 10 seconds of the call, to bring the voice print that we stored in the system, and to try and match it with the real-time voice of the customer. It's take less than 10 seconds, in average 7 seconds, to authenticate and alert the agent in real time whether this is the customer or whether we have a mismatch. And then the customer can move to questions or other methods according to the organization policy. So once we pass these 10 seconds, we can easily skip the pink part, all the authentication, and jump immediately to the service. By doing so, we reduce the average handling time by 30 seconds. So why it's important today? What has changed? As you showed at the first slide, a lot of data breaches. So our information, our personal information, it's out there in the network. And those fraudsters working very hard in order to fish this information. As mentioned, the weakest link is the contact center, because it's very easily to check whether the information that I just extracted from the dark web, it's correct, and I can use it. So today, fraudsters use this in two ways. The first one is to trade with this information. Once they confirm that this is a reliable information, they trade, they sell this information. And the second is they use this information in order to take over and impact the organization. So we provide, in addition to real-time authentication, two different features in order to provide 360-degree protection. We are authenticating the customers, and also we are using a technique, a mechanism behind the scenes which run every night in order to expose these potential fraudsters. And then we are using the watch list where we put all these voice print of these fraudsters, and then the next call will be alerted in real time. So how we expose them? So it's quite simple, because the real-time authentication, it's recognized and focused only the voice, okay, only the voice. We are able to scan all the interactions for the previous day, overnight, and we extract the same voice into different clusters. It means that we have different clusters, and each cluster holds the same person. Now we are analyzing what this person try to do. For example, if the same, we realize that fraudsters use typical behavior. For example, they will try to log in to different accounts. The same voice try to log in to different accounts, which is not common behavior. Additional behavior is they are trying to log into the same account repetitively in a short period of time. In case they fail, they will easily try again because it's IVR, so they will route to different agent and they will try again until they will succeed. And once we identify potential fraudster, we are using our fraudster dashboard, as you can see on the screen, which give a snapshot of what happened over the past 1 week, 1 month and more, okay, and it's provide more options to the security officer. For example, on the left side, the numbers that you can see says that yesterday the organization handled around 500,000 interactions, but the security officer cannot listen such amount of calls. So we are using this technique that I just showed you in order to filter and score the interactions, give them a scores according to the risk of fraud situation. And as you can see, we filter the calls to 24. The 24, this is not a calls, it's not interactions, it's persons, it's potential fraudsters. And when the security officer will double click on this 24, he will get a list of 24, this is just the first part of the list, of fraudsters. And he can double click and listen to the call. And then he can understand whether, he can realize whether we have a legitimate customer or fraudster. If it's a fraud situation, by double click, we will create a voice print of this specific person. And with the other solution, with the, not the other solution, with the next feature, we will store this specific fraudster voice print in a watch list. So next time we will alert it in real time. So just to summarize what we discussed, we are providing 3 key metrics to improve: customer experience, no need to ask any annoying questions, jump immediately to provide service. Operational efficiency, the important thing to understand that we are reduced the average handling time. The agent don't need to do any detective task, not need to ask questions and identify and authenticate the customer. Everything is totally seamless behind the scenes for the agent and for the customer. And the fraud, as I just showed you, with our advanced fraud dashboard. I will end my presentation, but just say one important thing. There are other solutions in the market, but NICE is the leader with the fraud domain. And it's all about accuracy. This is the main important point. With NICE engines developed by NICE, we are provide more than 90% accuracy to authenticate customers. And we will fail in fraud situation by less than 1% of the calls, which is nothing. No other player in the market can introduce such accuracy level. Guys, thank you for your time today, and we will move to the next presenter. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lior. Chris, the stage is yours.
Good. Kalimera Lada. Good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Kajanis. I'm responsible for our automation portfolio in EMEA, and I'm delighted to give you a good overview about NEVA and the capabilities and the benefits that she can bring to any kind of customer service, customer facing, but also back office operation. Okay, so well, look at it. Of course, customer service employees, everybody who is dealing with any kind of request coming from customers or partners or even colleagues is, of course, having a big impact in how strong and how qualitative the services of your company are perceived, and therefore obviously are challenged with a quite delicate but also challenging job, because if you look at it, they need to deal with a lot of different systems. They need to deal with a lot of different processes in order to achieve the results, in order to deliver services. And of course, since we are still not in a position to have unified desktops, unified applications, but rather have decentralized systems, a lot of legacy systems usually in place, green screen application, but in the end, multiple different silos that the employee needs to work with in order to pull and put data. It is quite a challenging situation. And on top of that, of course, they need to stick to regulations. Transactions on the phone are highly regulated. There's a lot of noise about data privacy, GDPR, and all that stuff. So an agent is really challenged in terms of delivering a good service while still being always on top of the applications and the information, in order to really also give everybody on the phone and on the other end of his channel a good feeling that he's obviously the expert, and his requests will be well served. Just look at that. Of course, with that ton of information, with that many challenges, with this one-fit-all architecture that you do have in most tools, of course, this is a scenario where agents are just completely overflooded with tasks, with information, and obviously it's really hard to still keep track and focus on what is the most important thing, the customer or the customer request in this scenario, in order to deliver this quality to the audience. On top of that, not only because of the current COVID-19 corona measurements and crisis, of course, but also because it is just been already a thing or a transition for a couple of years now. Work-life balance and all these catchy words that are spread around these days, which are in fact ending up in the reality that service agents in most cases are not in a contact center anymore, but sitting on in their home office, on their private machine, laptops, etc., and still, of course, need to deal with all those challenges, but do not have anybody left or right from them who they can just ask if they do have a problem or for advice. And in the end, you still also do not have any capability to make sure that your employees are focused and are doing what they are asked to do. We do have a solution for that. Let me introduce NEVA, our nice virtual employee virtual attendant. Sorry. I always misspell the name a little bit because honestly, what I do believe is assistant fits way better to her because this is exactly what she is, a personal assistant to any employee, no matter if he's a front office, back office, or wherever in the organization, who can help him to achieve his targets, to deliver his services by applying not only guidance and also validation of whatever the employee does, but also help him to deliver the task by automating and taking away monotone and redundant steps from the employee. So in a nutshell, NEVA brings people and robots together. She allows us to use RPA, which is one of the buzzwords over the last couple of years in process optimization and in operation efficiency increase. Just take away stuff, monotone stuff, manual stuff away from the employee and give it to a robot. The problem is, obviously, this is creating then a gap between employees and the RPA operation, but also, and this is the main and biggest issue, you can only apply a full automation on around 20% of the use cases. Wherever still a human being is needed for decisioning, for decisioning based not only on skills but also on experience. Wherever you are dealing with unstructured data like handwritten notes or a customer on the phone, obviously this is not a scenario where RPA bot can help you. NEVA, by the way, obviously also a market leader, like all other nice solutions, and highly awarded also for her intelligent way of dealing with all kinds of cognitive capabilities, but also collaborating with humans. Is obviously coming not only with a set of RPA bots in order to send or route task to a bot, but includes all necessary components for you in order to supercharge your employees' performance by having an all-included solution that combines all those cognitive, automated RPA, process optimization in the end capabilities in one single tool, in one single license that you can pretty much adopt like any kind of contact center solution by just applying it to the employees that it needs to help, and obviously that therefore ensure that this is still employee-driven operation, but everything that can be optimized and anything that can be optimized will be optimized, and NEVA does that in a real intelligent manner. Of course, NEVA is part of the AI revolution. I guess a lot of people here on the line already are dealing with cognitive projects, AI capabilities in order to identify potential, optimize processes, but obviously also to provide enhancement and also assistance to your employees by having a large variety of different solutions. The most used are chatbot voice bots that are either in the IVR contact center, talking to your customers, routing them, but also, as you just heard, analytics and predictive solutions are in the rise and are being now deployed in enterprises to unlock potential and also give you a lot of insights that you can then leverage, of course, and take it into an ROI. So, with other words, with NEVA, the future is already here. NEVA can really put you in a position to not only identify quickly where you do have potential for optimization, where you do have potential to increase your employees' performance, and this is significant. We can cut down transactions on the phone by on putting your employees in a position to complete them 3 times faster than if they are doing it manually. We can help you, of course, to maintain service consistency because this will work wherever the employee is. You will always have the capability to do it in a centralized manner and just push any kind of new requirement, any kind of new optimization to any desktop, no matter where it is located. And of course, you can ensure that your employees are always up to date with any kind of regulatory requirement, any kind of new application, new process, by providing online and on-screen training to them. And of course, not only detached training, but as you can see here in the screenshot, NEVA will be always there guiding them based on the process, and rather than leave the employee with a CRM alone and then just let them navigate through all those pages in order to change one piece of data. She will guide them, she will validate the entries and help them to deliver their job more efficient. So what NEVA does in the end, sorry, my computer's a little bit slow today. She, of course, can automate tasks. So whenever there's the need to work with multiple applications, NEVA can provide a so-called unified interface to the employee that puts the process in the scope, puts the process in the main view, so that the employee only needs to work in this interface, and everything that needs then to be distributed, even to green screen applications, will be done by NEVA by utilizing either DPA desktop auto robots or RPA server robots that will then continue and complete the process autonomously. She can also, of course, guide employees, but not only as you remember maybe from all those tools we had 20 years back where you just get random information. NEVA sees what the employee does. She can use any kind of click, any kind of interaction of the employee as a trigger point in order to come back with best practice, with guidance on what he needs to do, and obviously also takes away the need to calculate what is the best possible offer, what is the best possible solution here for the customer, but do it, of course, with her cognitive and AI capabilities, and even can integrate with chatbots or voice bots in order to talk to the employee, in order to talk even to customers, and pretty much take away the need for any kind of physical interaction with clicks, but allow your employees to also talk to her assistant and just order her to do stuff for them. Anything that needs to be changed, of course, in the current situation, but of course in current times of digitalization, you do have a lot of changes happening almost on a daily basis. We are providing user interface which is completely native, no skills in terms of coding necessary. Everybody who can build a PowerPoint can learn how to build automation, and especially how to amend them in order to cope with any kind of requirement that you do have on a daily basis. this is not the end of the line. NEVA will not only work with your employees and bring efficiency, but by using NEVA and obviously by having NEVA collaborate with your employees and learning from them on how to deliver processes and where the cumbersome and most handling time consuming process steps are, she can take that into an AI-infused analysis and come back with new potential, new automation cases that you can adapt in order to increase the efficiency. And therefore, you will increase also your ROI of the solution while working with it. And again, this is not only working on employees' desktop in your enclosed environment, but also, of course, in scenarios where you're using VPNs, thin clients, etc. For your employees. So I'm already quite at the end of my presentation. Just to summarize again what NEVA can do for you. First of all, it boosts your employees, especially in the current times where we are not in a position to hire more people in order to deal with an increase and a peak of transactions on the phone, because of course people can't go just to your shops, to your branches. They are pretty much limited to the internet and the phone, and especially of course since this is a crisis and people are concerned and afraid, there are also a lot of calls coming in about people being concerned about the money, being concerned about the services. So you need to deal with a lot of higher demand and also an increased number of transactions, but on the other side are not in position to just hire people. But most of the cases even need to deal with that with smaller employee volume. NEVA delivers value through the entire organization, of course. I won't spend now too much time on anyone. I pretty much gave you already a glimpse of what exactly NEVA does and obviously what the outcome is. Efficiency is, of course, one of the biggest benefits that is coming out of NEVA. But of course, don't forget, since the process is streamlined, since there is guidance, since there's validation, she also eliminates any kind of operational error that not only, of course, again, is paying up to efficiency, but will also eliminate any kind of fines coming out of violating process or regulatory requirements. It is built for enterprise scale, so not a typical vertical that we are approaching. Any kind of transaction between employees and application PCs does have and give you a lot of potential for savings. So you can see it here. We do have customers which are really benefiting from our solutions with a lot of volumes, with big deployments across all those industries. There's again no dedicated one which benefits more or less from the solution. The only thing that I want to leave you with in the end of my presentation is talk to us, unleash your business potential. And it is like there is a vast potential for savings by using automation, especially if you do it with NEVA in combination with your employees. Of course, we are more than happy to help you to achieve that goal. And with that, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for allowing me to give you this overview, and I'm looking forward to talk to you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you everyone for being here. Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ όλους που ήσασταν εδώ πέρα. Από ό,τι μπορώ να δω δεν υπάρχουν κάποιες ερωτήσεις. As I can't see any Q&A. Θα θέλαμε πάλι να σας ευχαριστήσουμε πολύ που συμμετείχατε σε αυτό το webinar. Και μέσα στις επόμενες ημέρες να γνωρίζετε θα λάβετε στο χώρο σας ένα δώρο για τη συμμετοχή σας, όπως και μέσα στην ημέρα θα λάβετε τα link από το webinar όσοι θέλετε να το παρακολουθήσετε. Thank you very much again, all of you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Ευχαριστούμε.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.